You've done the work. You've healed. You've unmasked. And you're starting to see your old patterns clearly. But you keep running into versions of your past self. And it's tempting to want to help them, to give advice, to show them the path you've already walked. But if you pour everything that you have into them, you'll have nothing for yourself. It's not so easy to walk away because you feel guilty about leaving them behind. Now you have a decision to make. Let's talk about how not to fall into the trap of becoming the caretaker. Are you ready? Let's go. Hey, what's going on? My name is Coach Lee Hopkins. My pronouns are he, him, his, and you're listening to the Patterns of Possibility podcast, the podcast for late identified autistic adults who want real relationships without fake masks. Let's talk connection, clarity, and showing up as your authentic self. Now, I have heard that people are mirrors and they reflect back to us what we need to heal in ourselves. They reflect back our reality to us. And I didn't really get it until I started doing my own healing, my own work, and discovering more about myself. And I would keep running into people who were doing the things that I healed from. So, for example, I used to ignore my boundaries. I didn't realize I had boundaries. I didn't know how to set them. And so I would just ignore them, and I would keep people pleasing and overextend myself. And then after I realized that no isn't a bad word, I learned how to set boundaries with others. I kept running into people who could not set boundaries. They just would overextend themselves, and they would say yes to things, and then they would complain and be frustrated with the burnout or with the lack of love and support that they got from other people. And I was like, well, wait, I know what it's like to be that way. And this is newly understanding what boundaries are and how to set them. So I was like, yeah, you can set boundaries. Here, do it this way. This is what I'm doing. You must also do it. And what was happening there was that I had a desire to stop their suffering. I had a desire to shortcut them to getting to the place where they're just like me. And that's wild to think about. I also had this big desire to make sure that they weren't suffering, because I knew how hard it was, and I could see myself in them. Like, I know how hard it is. You don't have to do that. You can have people who really care about you and support you. All you have to do is say no a few times. And then if they say that they don't want anything to do with you after you say no, then you just move on to the next person. Like, it's super easy. Look at me. I'm doing it. Ha, ha, ha. And they would be upset with me. And I'd be like, oh, no, I don't want you to be upset with me. I want to help you. I want to support you. And then I'd find myself listening, giving advice, giving support, overextending myself, and wow, boom, there you go. I'm just like them again. I'm just like old me again, because I had the desire to help. That's just not going to go away. But recognizing when we are overstepping our boundaries and we are taking care of people that aren't ready for the change or need to go through a different process and realize it for themselves, we are experiencing what we thought we healed from. Another example is that if you chase validation through achievements, if you worked very hard in school and academics just so you can get the valedictorian or the summa cum laude, you worked very hard to make sure that other people saw that you were a success, a version of you that was successful by the standards of what society says. The moment you decide to change your patterns and to not do those things, you're going to run into people who are doing those things. You're going to notice your colleagues. You're going to notice your friends. You're going to notice your family members who are all doing those things. And you might say something like, hey, let me help you out there. I'm relaxed. You can get relaxed too. Life doesn't have to be so hard. I don't have to have so much anxiety about what's next and what's my goal and my achievements. I know I love myself, and you can do it too. Here you go. Here's what I did. And you start trying to take care of them. Now, this is a tricky one where you take care of them in the sense that you try to help them understand more about how things are going to be okay if you're not chasing those achievements. Because what I've noticed in my own personal experience and working with my clients is that there are people who chase those achievements and they want that success for you. And they want that success for you because they believe that your life is going to be easier. They worry about you, right? They want that success for you because they believe it makes them look good and they feel good. And you might want to take care of all that. You might want to manage their feelings of you. And this is a healing, helpful thing. Oh, mom, dad, don't be so upset. Oh, friend, family member, don't be so upset. Things are going to be okay. I'm going to be okay. Don't worry about me. And there you go, draining yourself, trying to show them that you're okay. You're trying to help them feel better, taking care of their feelings. And there you go, trying to get them to validate the life you have chosen for yourself. In both of those situations, you have become the caretaker. You have become the person who is managing the past version of yourself who is not able to set boundaries. You are becoming that person who is managing everyone's vision of you, how they view you. Because now that you're not the one who's super successful, everybody's worried about you being a failure. Everybody's worried about you not living up to expectations. All you do is say, yo, no, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. They're taking care of their feelings. So if that resonates with you, then this next bit is for you. What do you do to avoid becoming the caretaker? So what I've done in my own journey, when I recognized this and how I was showing up, I was being pulled unconsciously back into the person that I didn't want to be. And so the biggest change for me was to create some space. Let's create this space physically, financially, emotionally. Create space between those people. Create space from the version of myself who didn't have any boundaries. Create space from the version of myself who just worked too hard to please other people. I used to say something that was a lot more intense, like, just cut them off. That was my attitude. But now I mean compassionately create space between you and the other person, between you and the places that you go, between you and that mindset of who you were. Before I started doing this work and recognizing myself and my patterns and how I show up in other people's lives and how I create my own reality, I wanted more than anything to be heard and understood. That's why I did the people pleasing. That's why I chased accolades. I just wanted to be understood. And that didn't work. And I now know that it didn't work. And I now know what does work. And I want to say this because if you know what works for you and you have a desire to be heard, understood, appreciated, and accepted just as you are, and you talk to people who don't know how to do that, or you can't do that for them because they're people pleasing and it's driving you crazy that they're burnt out, or that they've chosen a lifestyle of leisure when they want you to be more goal-oriented. They want you to be more active and get your accolades, but you don't want to do that. They don't understand you. They don't get it. It's the same thing. Then you'll be explaining to them why you should set boundaries, how to do it. And then they struggle and they try, and they might fall into old patterns, but you end up not being seen by them because you're too busy trying to quote unquote fix them. It's the same with the accolades. Trying really hard to get them to understand that your life is going to be just fine and that you're very happy, but they keep pushing you to do something that you don't want to do, and you have to fight them. They don't see you. Creating space is where I landed. I don't want to try and convince you anymore. I can't. You're not here with me. I get it. I think that's one of the hardest parts about this journey that we're on, is because we feel like we're going to be alone. Because look, nobody gets it. Nobody gets what you're doing. In your circle, you woke up one day and you were like, I want something to be different. And they're like, what? Why? And there you go, explaining yourself. I'm so worried. Don't worry. They haven't made that change. They can't see you. And so it feels very lonely. Speaking from personal experience, it does. It feels pretty lonely. And when I talk about loneliness, what I mean is that there's no one, or you believe that there is no one who understands how you feel about your experiences. That's loneliness to me. And it comes right when you decide to make some kind of change, a big change, like this one where you are discovering yourself and recognizing your patterns and wanting something different and knowing what it feels like to be heard, understood, appreciated, and accepted. And look around at your circle of people that you've grown up with or that you've been with for years and realize that they're not doing what you were doing today. Yesterday you were connected, but today, no. And then you have to leave all of that behind because none of your coworkers understand your desire not to go for VP, not to get the most sales in the company. Your old people-pleasing friends don't understand you're setting new boundaries and you're saying no. They think you're selfish and rude. Hurtful. It's just hurtful. You're not seen there. But this is all you know. Or is it? There are 8 billion people out there in the world. And if you resonate with what I'm saying, I'm one that understands. I get it. I think there are millions of people who are waking up to these kinds of realities every single day. They're just waiting to talk to somebody who understands this leg of the journey. Speaking of which, the Social Connection Summit is tomorrow. It's for late identified autistic ADHD professionals who are struggling to find that connection in the workplace. The brains are different. They do things differently. Most of their colleagues are neurotypical who just don't get it. And there are some people there who want to bridge the gap within their leadership, but they just don't know how. They'll be at the Social Connection Summit too. It's happening September 24th and September 25th at 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. It's going to be dope. I'm telling you. We've got world-class speakers. We've got valuable giveaways. And we've got a few surprises that I can't wait to share with you, honestly. And it's free. It's free to you. Also, if you decide to upgrade to VIP tickets are like $33, but it gets you 30-day access to my community and this cool guide that I have called the Vulnerability Matrix. It's really able to help you understand what you say and how you're impacting people or why it feels uncomfortable to share your feelings. It's pretty dope. I mean, I'm biased, but I'm also right. But seriously, this event is made for you if you're struggling to feel like you can connect with someone. There's going to be people here who get you. And that's the whole point of this. So if you want to join, you go to socialconnectionsummit.com, grab your free ticket. Again, that's socialconnectionsummit.com. Grab your free ticket there. I hope to see you. So here are some practical steps, because I know it's just hard to uproot your life and go. Speaking from my own personal experience, I've done it many times, and I've dropped myself into the same places with the same kind of people. I moved from Ohio to California and then to Chicago. I moved around within those states too, and it was just like, how are you the same person doing the same things in different places? I thought the key was to move to different places. It's not that simple. There's some mechanics that you need to change about the way you move, the patterns you recognize in yourself and other people. So if you want to make these adjustments, I've got 3 for you. The first one is to resist the urge to give advice. No advice. Do your best, no advice. Don't give advice. If somebody rants about how their boyfriend is doing the worst, cheating, taking money, verbally abusive, hey, I feel sorry for you. I mean, I'm here for you, but also I don't know what to do with that. Because I'm not going to give you advice, because you recognize this. You're saying all this stuff out loud, and it's a conversation we've had many, many times before. You should do this, you should do that, and they just ignore your advice because they are stuck here. You're stuck in this place where they're people pleasing, or they're doing something that coincides with their values and beliefs, and you just telling them change your values and change your beliefs isn't gonna happen. Like, people will change when they change, and you'll drain yourself if you give advice to people who won't take it. You'll drain yourself even faster if you give advice to people who never ask for it. So don't give advice. Remember that compassion is more helpful than correcting them. So one step removed is be compassionate. Oh man, oh girl, that's so terrible. He's a terrible guy. He's blah, 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 I get it. Y'all been together for 2 years. Maybe he will change. Maybe he will. All you need to do, just go ahead and have his baby. I went a little too far. You probably want to exit from the relationship or conversation. But if you do enough of that, you will feel this frustration. You give compassion, and they keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. How much compassion can you give? You start pouring from an empty cup, and you start getting resentful. So give compassion until you feel like you just want to go away, if you really want that person in your life. And then the third one is to set strong boundaries. And this is what I talk about in my coaching, is to set strong boundaries about your expectations based on their behavior and the results that you'd like to see. So they're dating this guy, and they're absolutely terrible. They've been dating him for 2 years, and they're like, girl, don't talk about him. I don't want to hear nothing about it. We are just going to have a couple drinks. We're going to watch a movie. We're going to chat it up. But that's it. But then we're talking about him. But that's the only thing she could talk about. Oh. Huh. These 3 things will get you naturally frustrated enough to move away, to create some space. Or they'll get your friend or whoever frustrated enough that they'll move away from you. Because you can't stay in this space. I mean, that's what I've learned. Can't stay in the space with people who can't see you. If you have a desire to be seen, the universe will make sure it happens. If you're aware that you're not being seen in the space and you're frustrated, by what they're doing, by what they're saying, then it's up to you to create that space. And you can do it by, one, not giving advice, because then you're useless to them if they just wanted to talk and give advice. Two, being compassionate and just listening to everything until you get drained because you're exhausted about how their problems never change. Or three, you set boundaries and they don't like it. And you don't like that they disrespect your boundaries. Then you start to just naturally drift. These are three things that I've done many, many times. And as I keep encountering versions of myself that cannot see me in the way I want to be seen, I find that I still do these three things. I still do them. And it just saves me time. It saves me energy because they get tired of me, or I set a real quick boundary. And then we create space. We compassionately create space. Because notice with the third one where I said, setting boundaries. When I set boundaries, you're still hanging out with your girl, going to the movies, but you might be talking about something else. If there's something else to talk about, you can still stay connected. So it's not a complete cut off. It's a creation of space. And I know I see a lot of stuff here. It's easy to say, but not as easy to practice. If you would like to practice with me, I'm going to give you a 30-day trial. If you buy a VIP ticket to the Social Connection Summit for $33, you will get 30 days access to my community. And it is full of resources, hundreds of hours of resources, actual guides, step by step, to help you figure out how to implement this in your life. And of course, I will also be there doing live events and guiding you along the way. So go to thesocialconnectionsummit.com, get a VIP ticket, come to the summit, get all the value, meet some cool people, and then come inside of the community to learn more about how to spread that out and make it your reality. Get your ticket today. If this episode resonated with you, the best way to support the podcast is to rate and review it. Your words will help other late diagnosed autistic adults find this space to know that they're not alone. Just a few seconds from you can open up the door for someone else to feel seen. Hey, I appreciate you, and thanks for being here.